To accomplish our goal, we need your help to install wireless access throughout our school and to purchase Chromebooks for each student in every classroom.
My dream is to become a world-renowned author.
My dream is to design Warner Brothers video games.
My dream is to own a beauty salon.
My dream is to be a pediatrician.
My dream is to design video games.
My dream is to be a wildlife photographer.
My dream is to be a dentist.
My dream is to become a kindergarten teacher.
My dream is to teach homeless kids.
My dream is to be a computer technician.
My dream is to be a doctor to help children.
My dream is to make music and comedy videos.
My dream is to be a singer.
My dream is to be a pediatrician.
My dream is to be a medic in the U.S. Marines.
My dream is to be a mechanical engineer to build robots.
My dream is to own a company that manufactures cosmetics.
My dream is to be a paleontologist.
My dream is to become an astronomer.
My dream is to be a mechanical engineer.
My dream is to be a computer technician.
My dream is to become a mental therapist.
Most of our students don't have access to the internet or computers outside of school. Having access to a computer in every classroom for every student will allow the students to further their knowledge on the information they gain in my technology class and learn and also use that knowledge in their other classes, such as Animoto and various other software techniques that I teach them.
If I had some Chromebooks for my students, I would use them to let them get on the stock market game, and they could compete against other students citywide, statewide, and nationwide.
My science students would be able to participate in citizen science projects, helping scientists complete real-world research in conservation science around the globe.
If my students had laptops, they would be able to chat with students across the country and also take virtual field trips.
My special education students could really use Audacity to verbally record their mathematical ideas for peer and teacher evaluations.
My math students will make a library of video lessons where the students are delivering the lessons.
My students are learners of English as a second language. Most of them come from an environment where they have not been exposed to any kind of technology. Some were living in refugee camps before coming to the United States. In their homes, they do not have computers or skilled people to introduce them to this kind of technology or tools. So having computers now will not only help them a lot to learn how to read and write, but also to improve their listening and speaking skills.
My music students will be able to use Google Video and video chat to collaborate with other classes around the United States and around the world to collaborate on music that we get to play and sing together.
My students with learning disabilities often complain about writing on paper. However, when they're able to use laptops, they are much more enthusiastic and motivated to use blogs as online journals.
If each of my students had access to a laptop, we could use ST Math, a visual math program that's made specifically for English language learners.
My special education students will be more engaged if they can use interactive lessons online.
My students would have access to digital resources so that they could support their writing. They also would be able to learn to judge the credibility of their sources.
My ELA students could make an infographic with facts and data, creating a visual summary of their research about the Chicago fire or the Boston molasses flood.
My science classes could use Google Earth and Google Maps to study the topology of different regions around the world.
Could use a laptop to create a comic book or a comic strip or any sort of animation.
My students would be able to take a virtual field trip to the Colosseum in Rome, Italy as we study the Roman Empire.
My science students would be able to collect and analyze data that they collect from the digital microscopes.
My students will be able to research many concepts as we integrate our curriculum doing PowerPoint presentations, persuasive essays, informational essays, prezzies, and any other types of presentation that will help them to display their 21st century skills.
My math and science students will use laptops to do research for project-based lessons.
Believe it or not, many of my 8th grade math students do not know their facts. With a laptop for each student, we would be able to practice every day until they were fluent.
The students will be required to do an annotated timeline and a multi-tiered timeline as part of their Common Core requirements. The Padlet application would be very practical for that.
My special ed students will be able to complete their daily journals and their digital spreadsheets.
My students with attention deficits can take digital notes in class and email them directly to teachers for assessment.
Our students could create interactive posters with the Glockster application to show what they know about a specific concept in any subject. They could also use electronic post-it notes to make an online math or science vocabulary word wall.
Your contribution to the EQ project, any amount you can give, will allow current and future Medina School students to gain daily access to the rich, digital, 21st century learning environment, which will prepare them to achieve their dreams.
The dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true.